Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sachidanandarupaya Vishwotpatyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayan Namaha. Om Nigamakalpatarorgalitam Phalam सुखमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहोरसिका भुवि भावुकाः ॐ नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय सुखब्रह्मर्षे सूतमहानमये शौनकादृशिभ्यो वैशम्पायनादृशिभ्यो अत्र्यादृशिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो मत्स्यादवतारेभ्यो आदित्यादिनवग्रदेवताभ्यो नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तिदत्तात्रेय हयग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो नमः श्री आदिपराशक्तिमात्रे नमः श्री आद्यशङ्कराचार्यवर्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः मातापितृदेवताभ्यो नमः अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः ओं श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादशस्कन्धः मुक्तिरित्वान्यथारूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः पारायणम् अथ सप्तमोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच. Friends, having saluted all the rishis, munis and gurus, recognize that every day we are attending our classes. That itself is a very good effort from our side. And see to it while attending so how quickly we are, when we come to class, able to mold our minds to the spiritual theme that is discussed in the class. As the days pass by, even though we involve in the worldly activities, depending on the requirement, finishing them quickly, how quickly and soon we are able to bring the theme called Bhagavan into our heart. And if this can happen willingly, joyfully, with our own commitment, mind you, we are becoming sadhakas. That also indicates that we are grown up, matured by our effort and grace of God, that many of the pushes and pulls of the world have left us. We are freed from them. In other words, lucky that many of the prarabdhas, samskaras, vasanas are reduced, at least for this life. We don't know what will happen next life, but if we are able to happily, joyfully, willingly bring our mind's attention to Bhagavan in the Saguna Nirguna Rupa and revel in whatever sadhanas we have understood with the ultimate goal of in Jnana Marga, Aham Brahma Asmi Anubhuti, Satyam Param Dhimahi, in the Bhakti Marga, the Paripurna Sharanagati, after discovering that he is the Ashraya, that's called as Paramadharma Sadhana. Let us see it is happening. And we can see so fully Guru Bhagavat Kripa is on us because we are ready. There is no other thing called as grace than this, where slowly, steadily, we are weaned away from worldliness. Slowly, steadily, we are put into the truth, the reality, the self, the God. We are in the in-between period now, where we have not even not given up completely the world and its taste, nor we have involved in sadhana sufficiently and had its initial taste. It will happen very soon. The world and its taste goes away. Taste of Bhagavan starts happening. The joy in taking name, in looking at form of Lord, in doing upasana to Him. Through upasana, offering everything to Him and chanting His glories through stotrams and Puranas and talking to each other about His glories, and in and through the outer external universe and in our own personal life, in and through ability to see his own presence, his own grace. That would be the most enchanting entertainment. If that starts happening, if started happening, mind you that we are really not only on the highway, but we are reaching nearly to as Bhagavan Gurus expect us as spiritual sadhakas. Then how far distance to cover and all, never ever worry about it. Keep on doing it. And also, whenever we are able to get chance, sit quietly, make the mind quiet, and there one sloka of Upanishad we are able to get just little contemplation on the tattva we are able to do without much of hassles easily. That means that time also krupa is happening. Even we sit for dhyanam, if it is not happening, means what? Some prarabdha is there. That will also go away. So, whether the deep inner sadhanas, outer sadhanas happening or not, our consistency of listening both to the Bhakti Shastra, Jnana Shastra should never be given up or compromised. This is what will be a beautiful subject we will be discussing in tomorrow day after in our Taittiriya Upanishad also, when Bhagavan will tell us about Rutamcha Swadhyaya Pravachane Ityad. Now, in our evening class, poised, receiving the glorious grace of Bhagavan and Krupa Guru, feeling that they are taking us at their feet, feeling that they are putting their hands on our head as if they have taken us into their fold to save us, protect us. Before we study the Bhagavata 11th Skandha, the 27 chapters concluding verses, like every day we are doing some 8 to 10 minutes of Parayana, involved in that with lot of faith that it is going to fetch you so much of advancement, because original Bhagavatam we are chanting. Bhagavad Kripa will be multifold. With this faith, sincerely do it. It is less effortful than contemplation, meditation. That takes lot of intellectual effort. यहाँ तो पारायण बट मन लगाओ प्रेम से बस. We did yesterday 7th chapter starting of chanting, where Bhagavan Krishna Uddhava Samvada brought us to the Dattatreya Bhagavan and Yadu Samvada. There, the Yadu Raja asked Dattatreya ji, we all are caught up so much in Deha Tadatmya, in senses and all. How come you are so happy, joyful, without anything in this form? What is the reason? Where from you learnt it? In this way is the question. See, Janeshu Dahyamaneshu Kama Lobhagni Davagna Na Tapyase Agnina Muktaha Gangambasta Ivadvivaha. Like the elephant reveling, enjoying in the cool waters of river. You are happy in this world when everybody is burnt with Kama Krodhadi Agni. How you are in such an ananda without anything, and we are so miserable with everything. Then Dattatreya Bhagavan will tell about what he learned from his 24 gurus. That was the most enchanting topic in all the literature of our Sanatana Dharma Shastras. It is in its own way unique, where without being spoken to Guru and taught from him, things are learnt. A disciple of the highest cadre is example in an example form proved here in the story of Dattatreya ji. He just said, I saw Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Kapota, Jagara, and from them I have learned. They didn't speak, but I just was quiet in my mind. I found the Guru in me, I found the disciple in me, I found the Jnanam in me. All these helped me to be a medium. That was the point. That 2 points are, therefore, if you want to learn from Guru, everybody is a Guru. If you want to learn yourself as a Shishya, you will be learning many things. That's how Shishyatva in us, if we deeply have, feel everything as Guru, countless things we can keep on learning to beautify our life, improve our life, make it joyful first for us and then everybody. Let us do the chanting from verse 31 up to verse 74. Pura padlo. Let it take 10 minutes. Om Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Yadunaivam Mahabhagah Brahmanyena Sumedhasa Pruштः Sabhajitः Praha Prashrayavanatam Dijaha Brahmana Uvacha Santi me Guravo Rajan Bahavo Buddhyupashritaha Yato Buddhimupadaya Muktotamihatan Shruno पृथिवी वायुराकाशः आपोऽग्निश्चन्द्रमा रविः कपोतो जगरः सिन्धुः पतङ्गो मधुकृद्गजः मधुआहरिणो मीनः पिङ्गळाकुररोर्भकः कुमारी शरकृत् सर्पः ऊर्णनाभिः सुपेशकृतो एते मे गुरवो राजन् चतुर्विंशतिराश्रिताः शिक्षावृत्तिभिरेतेषाम् अन्वशिक्षमिहात्मनः यतो यदनुशिक्षामि यथा वा नाहुषात्मज तत्तथा पुरुषव्याघ्र निबोध कथयामि ते भूतैराक्रम्यमाणोऽपि धीरो दैववशानुगैः तद्विद्वान्न चलेन्मार्गात् अन्वशिक्षं क्षितेर्व्रतम् शश्वत्परार्थ सर्वेहः परार्थैकान्तसम्भवः साधु शिक्षेत बुभृत्तः नगशिष्यः परात्मताम् प्राणवृत्त्यैव सन्तुष्येत् मुनिर्नैवेन्द्रियप्रियैः ज्ञानं यथा न नश्येत नावकीर्येत वाङ्मनः विषयेष्वाविशन्योगी नानाधर्मेषु सर्वतः गुणदोषव्यपेतात्मा न विसज्जेत वायुवत् पार्थिवेष्विह देहेषु प्रविष्टस्तद्गुणाश्रयः गुणैर्न युज्यते योगी गन्धैर्वायुरिवात्मदृको अन्तर्हितश्च स्थिरजङ्गमेषु ब्रह्मात्मभावेन समन्वयेन व्याप्त्या व्यवच्छेदमसङ्गमात्मनः मुनिर्नभस्त्वं विततस्य भावयेत् तेजोवर्णमयैर्भावैः मेघाद्यैर्वायुनेरितैः न स्पृश्यते नभस्तद्वत् कालसृष्टैर्गुणैः पुमान् स्वच्छः प्रकृतितः स्निग्धः माधुर्यस्तीर्थभूर्नृणां मुनिः पुनात्यपां मित्रम् ईक्षोपस्पर्शकीर्तनैः तेजस्वी तपसा दीप्तः दुर्धर्षोदरभाजनः सर्वभक्षोपयुक्तात्मा नादत्ते मलमग्निवतो क्वचिच्छन्नः क्वचित् स्पष्टः उपास्यः श्रेय इच्छतां भुङ्क्ते सर्वत्र दातॄणां दहन् प्रागुत्तराशुभं स्वमायया सृष्टमिदं सदसत्लक्षणं विभुः प्रविष्ट ईयते तत्ततो स्वरूपोऽग्निर्वैधसे विसर्गाद्याः श्मशानान्ताः भावादेहस्य नात्मनः कलानाम् इव चन्द्रस्य कालेनाव्यक्तवर्त्मना कालेन योगवेगेन भूतानां प्रभवाव्ययौ नित्यावपि न दृश्येते आत्मनोऽग्नेर्यथार्चिषां गुणैर्गुणानुपादत्ते यथा कालं विमुञ्चते न तेषु युज्यते योगी गोभिर्गा इव गोपतिः बुध्यते स्वेन भेदेन व्यक्तिस्त इव तद्गतः लक्ष्यते स्थूलमतिभिः आत्मा चावस्थितोऽर्कवतो नातिस्नेहः प्रसङ्गो वा कर्तव्यः क्वापि केनचिदो कुर्वन् विन्देत सन्तापं कपोतैव दीनधीः कपोतः कश्चनारण्ये कृतनीडो वनस्पतौ कपोत्या भार्यया सार्धम् उवास कतिचित् समाः कपोतौ स्नेहगुणित हृदयौ गृहधर्मिणौ दृष्टिं दृष्ट्याङ्गमङ्गेन बुद्धिं बुद्ध्या बबन्धतुः शय्यासनाटनस्थान वार्ता क्रीडासनादिकं मिथुनीभूय विस्रब्धौ चेरतुर्वनराजिषौ यं यं वाञ्छति सा राजन् तर्पयन्त्यनुकम्पिता तं तं समानयत् कामं कृच्छ्रेणाप्यजितेन्द्रियः कपोती प्रथमं गर्भं गृह्णति काल आगते अण्डानि सुषुवे नीडे स्वपत्युः सन्निधौ सते तेषु काले व्यजायन्त रचितावयवा हरेः शक्तिभिर्दुर्विभाव्याभिः कोमलाङ्गतनोरुहाः प्रजाः पुपुषतुः प्रीतौ दम्पती पुत्रवत्सलौ शृण्वन्तौ पूजितं तासां निर्वृतौ कलभाषितैः तासां पतत्रैः सुस्पृशैः कूजितैर्मुग्धचेष्टितैः प्रत्युद्गमैरदीनानां पितरौ मुदमापतुः स्नेहानुबद्धः हृदयौ अन्योन्यं विष्णुमायया विमोहितौ दीनधियौ शिशून् पुपुषतुः प्रजाः एकदा जग्मतुस्तासाम् अन्नार्थे तौ कुटुम्बिनौ परितः कानने तस्मिन् अर्थिनौ चेरतुश्चिरं दृष्ट्वा तान् लुब्धकः कश्चित् यदृच्छातो वनेचरः जगृहे जालमातत्य चरतः स्वालयान्तिके कपोतश्च कपोते च प्रजापोषे सदोत्सुकौ गतौ पोषणमादाय स्वनीडमुपजग्मतोः कपोते स्वात्मजान्वीक्ष्य बालकान् जालसंवृतान् तान् अभ्यधावत् क्रोशन्ति क्रोशतो भृशदुःखिता सा सकृत्स्नेहगुणिता दीनचित्ता च मायया स्वयं चाबध्यतसि च बद्धान् पश्यन्त्यपस्मृतिः कपोतश्चात्मजान् बद्धान् आत्मनोऽभ्यधिकान् प्रियान् भार्यां चात्मसमां दीनः विललापाति दुःखितः अहो मे पश्यतापायम् अल्पपुण्यस्य दुर्मतेः अतृप्तस्य कृतार्थस्य गृहस्त्रैवर्गिको हतः अनुरूपानुकूला च यस्य मे पतिदेवता शून्ये गृहे मां सन्त्यज्य पुत्रैः स्वर्याति साधुभिः सोऽहं शून्ये गृहे दीनः मृतदारो मृतव्रजः जिजीविषे किमर्थं वा विदुरो दुःखजीवितः तांस्तथैवावृतान् सृग्भिः मृत्युग्रस्तान् विचेष्टदः स्वयं च कृपणः भिक्षिक्षु पश्यन्नप्यबुधो पततु तं लब्धा लुब्धकः क्रूरः कपोतः कपोतं गृहमेदिनं कपोतकान् कपोतीं च सिद्धार्थः प्रययौ गृहम् एवं कुटुम्ब्य शान्तात्मा द्वन्द्वारामः पतत्रिवतु पुष्णन् कुटुम्बं कृपणः सानुबन्धो वसीदते यः प्राप्य मानुषं लोकं मुक्तिद्वारमपावृतं गृहेषु खगवत्सक्तः तम् आरूढच्युतं विदुः इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायाम् एकादशस्कन्धे सप्तमोऽध्यायः ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. What a beautiful story of Kapota. ओम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम श्री भागवत शरणं मम श्री सद्गुरु शरणं मम श्री सूत शरणं मम श्री शुकदेव शरणं मम श्री व्यास शरणं मम श्री नारद शरणं मम श्री कुमार शरणं मम श्री ब्रह्मा शरणं मम श्री विष्णु शरणं मम श्री परब्रह्म शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम शरणं मम श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव ओम मूकं करोति वाचालं वंगुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातो वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्यजगैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्यन्यथा अतप्यबन्धद्भाग्यः मम मुञ्जदगरिजित् ओं नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओं श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणमेकादश स्कन्धमुक्तिरित्वा अन्यदारोपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः ओं श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणं सप्तविंशोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच See, most nagging, troubling children, making us so frustrated at every moment, every day, for everything, that we are fed up. We are not able to leave them, nor able to manage them. Stage 1. Second stage, somehow they have a little grown up. They are starting to become independent. And by virtue of Guru Kripa, Bhagavad Kripa, Prarabdha, they stopped helping us or troubling us. They are starting to at least manage themselves. The earlier nuisance is reduced. Stage 2. Children have grown up into such a wonderful age, with all the study, with all the paripakvata, that they are able to give all the help to us, both in business and also at home. To such an extent, if they are saying, "Ki Papa or Mother, you relax, we'll manage." How the life which was Naraka earlier becomes Swarga in these three stages. Stage 1 is Naraka, stage 2 is Manushaloka, stage 3 is Swarga. Very nagging, troubling, frustrating children. Money is wasted, nothing is done in study, etc. और नौकरी बहुत बिगड़े हुए बच्चे दुख के कारण. Second one, self dependent children, not much bothering. थर्ड स्टेज कहते बच्चा हाथ में आ गया, हाथ को आ गया कि सो वंडरफुल ही बिकेम रिस्पॉन्सिबल. दे चिल्ड्रन जितने भी हो, दे आर टेकिंग केयर ऑफ अस. इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड दीज थ्री स्टेजेस, सेम इन द लाइफ, इन द प्लेस ऑफ चिल्ड्रन we have to consider our own dehendriya mana, mainly the sense organs and the mind. At the initial stages, our mana and indriyas running for the objects of world and all imagination fancies with all negative values inside, along with the angers, the reactions, the variety of non-positive qualities become cause so much of dukkha for us. Both दुखों के अपने ही मन इंद्रिय बंद. In the spiritual sadhana, the second stage is have they started reducing their troubling us. Just observe. Through all upasana, through all the study of shastra, little of efforts, this can be achieved. उतना नहीं सता रहे शैतान की तरह. And at the third stage, same senses and mind, if they are fully cooperating with us in our goals, whether of duties in the world, whether of services in the world, whether of worship of the Lord, whether it is of ultimate spiritual pursuit of Vedanta Jnanam. If we are able to find in ourselves this type of cooperation with our chitta or antakarna, with our senses and also the deha, मान लो कि हम बहुत बहुत किस्मत वाले. हो रहा है क्या देख लेना. हो गया मानो, then nobody is troubling us outer world, nor the senses mind are troubling. Rather, they are helping us, cooperating with us. To such person, the sailing of spiritual study sadhana is very smooth. The travel of this path is very joyful ride. May we all pray for that. May we all ask Bhagavan to give us that stage. Same time, may we also start becoming matured in our life to create that type of inner personality within ourselves for our own sadhana. In case of children, there are some other jivas come for our prarabdha. कभी कभी जिंदगी भर भी वो बिगड़ेली रहते हैं, they may not help. But in case of indriyas mana, they are our own. If we really understand and develop the knack of controlling them, making them our asset, not liability, then they will cooperate. Banao aisa. Definitely, from the worst situation to come to the best situation, it may take 3 4 lives, but they are worthy. If it in one life only in a span of 15 20 years, if it is happening, that our mind, senses, body, all are cooperating with our sadhana, मानो फिर बहुत किस्मत वाले हैं. Body is not that much suffer troubling with ill health and all. Senses are not demanding so much of worldly things. Mind is so joyful, calm, quiet, surrendering to the intellect. Intellect is at the feet of Guru and Shastra, fully convinced about the ultimate goal of Paramatma. Ego also is surrendered. Wonderfully, it is enjoying sadhana. अब देखो क्या मजाल मस्त है ऐसा जीवन का. May we all have that one. The Shastra Adhyanam will help us in developing ourselves this way. Now, what a great topic of Upasana of Lord through the Vaidika and Tantrika Paddhatis and Mishra Paddhati we are seeing from last couple of weeks. Now, today, almost the end of the shlokas we are coming. So yesterday, day before Vaisa, how toward the end, we have to, after the Upasana Puja, like a festivity, in a big way, the bhajana, the kirtana, the ganam, the musical instruments, the nritya, the katha shravanam, even organizing bhojanadi to the people, in सबसे मुहूर्तः क्षणिको भवेत्. In this way, escape the time. Rather, we should say transcend the time. Escape the mana, protect from the senses, be free from the clutches of the world. If these type of devotional spiritual things are not done, everything, the world, the senses, the body, the mind, all of them will act as enemies to us. पता ही नहीं चलता हमको ये शत्रु है हमारे जीवन को तबाह कर रहे हैं. That is a maya of it. It looks to be tasty, enjoyable, but this is not going to destroy us. वो पता ही नहीं चलता. So in this way, Murtah Kshaniko Bhavet, all that we have seen. Then how we have to do? Pranam at the feet of Lord, Dandavat, then Prapannam Pahimamisha, Misha, Bhitam Mrityugraharnavat. Prapannam Pahimamisha, Bhitam Mrityugraharnavat. Prapannam Pahimamisha, Bhitam Mrityugraharnavat. Prapannam Pahimamisha, Bhitam Mrityugraharnavat. How we have to at his feet do namaskar and ask him, protect me from the mrityu graha in this samsara sagar. Keep me here, use me for your work, but give me that wisdom that I am that self which is not subject to birth and death. It's only a concept. Death is not a reality. Neither body dies, it goes back to its five elements, nor the jiva dies, because to die he should be a substantial reality, but it is only illusion, mithya. Self never dies because of pure existence. So the fear of death should go away by the right knowledge. Please bless to us with that. And every change is a mrityu. Every dukkha is a mrityu. So let all the dukkha's, all the changes, all the ignorances regarding reality, they all go away. Please bless me. In this way we have asked. Then we have seen yesterday the इति शेषा मया दत्तां शरस्यादाय सादरम् उद्वाचेत् चेत् उद्वास्यं ज्योतिर्ज्योतिषितत् पुनः. If that idol in which the puja is done, if it is a chalamurti, then do the udvasana of the Lord. From wherever we brought him, we ask him to go. That is over. Then we saw yesterday in the 48th mantra saying that it is the most crucial mantra. If this is not fully thoroughly understood by us or even any pujari, any panditji who is doing yajna, yaga and upasana, he is not fully great. He is not fully, completely informed. What is the essence of this shloka? Is the Lord whose puja you have done, in whatever the archa murti, in whatever the rupa, imagine your mind, in this case Vishnu, with the nama, with all the prakriyas, all these steps, that Lord whose puja you have done, he is the self in all. In him only everything is there. If this final thing is not said by, right from beginning only we have to do. Like in the beginning only it is said, Deho Devalayah Paroktaha, Jivaha Desha Jivo Devaha Sanatanaha, Tejet Ajnana Nirmalyam Saha Aham Bhavena Pujayet. See, the puja शुरुआत में जो मंत्र बोलते हैं उसी में the Lord whose puja I am doing is my own Parabrahma Tattva. After saying so, then he is invoked in the idol, puja is done, again sent back to the self. Everyone does chanting of this mantra. But while doing so, do they maintain that thought or not? At least, if not in the beginning, middle, at the end of it. They have done upasana of that Lord, who is the self of all. At my jiva level, at my empirical life, may this Lord bless me with all comforts. Same Lord revealed to me my own essential nature, who is He alone, Him alone. This should be the conviction. This should be the concluding prayer. That's what He says. Archa adishu yada yatra shraddha mam tatra cha archayet. First point exhaustively we saw. In whichever the archa murti, in whatever thing you have shraddha, you do it that. Yesterday we explained half an hour. What is important is our shraddha. Now I will not repeat that. Second line is Sarva Bhuteshu Atmanicha Sarva Atma Aham Avastitaha. I am that in whom everything is there, and I am the Atma of everything. Of that Lord only we are doing upasana as Vishnu or Shiva. If that is not done, as I told you one day with an example, more than doing upasana to the God, it is an insult only. How come it be? Example to remember, a person on the stage is introduced to public. Such a wonderful person. He has done a graduation, and that graduation also he got gold medal in the college. Such a wonderful all that. But the one whose praise is happening is not at all happy. भाई आपका इतना praise हो रहा है, why are you not happy? He says, I am not graduate, I am double postgraduate. If a double PG fellow को, PhD वाले को, is a graduate कहो, will he be happy? Although he has done graduation, without graduation he cannot be doing PG and PhD. But a greater person, how much ever you praise him with a lower rank or his own, he'll not be happy. In army ये मजा आता है. यानी फुल कर्नल को just 2 seconds back only he got full colonel. You just tell him he's a lieutenant colonel. He becomes so angry and takes a rifle and shat, 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 he does it only. That much they have identity with those ranks. Lieutenant General, General one guy. Lieutenant General, how can you say me Lieutenant General? I left Lieutenant General 2 seconds back. I am now General. Chief General and all that General. In the same way, the Sarvavyapaka Parabrahma, if we just call him only as Vishnu or only as Shiva and stop there, though it is true that Vishnu Shiva is Parabrahma, but wahi ruk jao if you don't tell that Upasya Murti as him. The Upasya Murti himself is insulted. Secondly, we can never and should never stop. Only at the Upasya Murti's Upasana, Vishnu or Shiva, how much more glorious the result at that level may be. Because all those results are endful. We need an endless, infinite result. That will come only when we reach Paramatma, Parabrahma. That will be given to us only when we worship Him as that and ask Him to bless us with that wisdom. Therefore, Sarva Bhuteshu Atmanisha, Sarva Bhuteshu Atmanicha, Sarva Atma Aham Avastitaha. Okay? Sarva Bhuteshu means in all the beings I am there. Atmani, in you also I am there. Sarva Atma Avastitaha. How I am there? As the Atma of all of them. So, where is God? In every being. If He is in every being, is in you also? Yeah. Where is He? In kidney or pancreas? In what way? As Sarva Atma. As a Atma of everything. And the most important word is Avastitaha. And very much is there as the self of every being, including me, the Upasaka. Bhagavan Kare. How can you neglect me like that? So that me, to invoke His grace, Saguna Nirguna Rupa, Shraddha is required. Don't worry about the variety of forms, etc. When each one is doing. You like whatever you like, you do that. So, Archadishu Yada Yatra Shraddha Mam Tattacha Archayet. So, whatever you desire, have your Shraddha, you do my Archana there. Don't worry about others, but your Archana will be more beautiful, complete when you know that this Lord Vishnu or Shiva or Ganapati is none but in this person, that person, and I, the one doing puja, as our own selves. Try this every time when we go for puja, we do puja at our own home, where in an assembly or congregation of people doing upasana, a minute, look at Lord Rama or Krishna, Janmashtami हो रहा है, उनका पूजा करके, just look at everybody and say, in and through all these beings, the self of all of them is He only. बस इतना करके छोड़, फिर से कहना, फिर से कहना, फिर से कहना. The more we do it, that samskara that everywhere Paramatma is permeated grow. They are called as Brahma Vasana, which is very essential. Tattva Vasana, Atma Vasana. This is said in Upanishad, it's said in all our Shastras, in this Atma Bodha, Evam Nirantara Abhyasta Brahmaivasmiti Vasana Harati Avidya Vikshepan Rogani Varasayanam. Brahma need not any certificate. Brahma need not be gained with any sadhana. He is already experienced. But I am not the Brahma. These notions are removed by I am Brahma thought. Clear? That thought is gone, this thought is gone. Like With the detergent, you clean the dirt of the cloth. Then clothes dirt is gone, detergent is gone, pure cloth remains. So to Aham Brahmasmi Anubhava is eternally ever there. But that is covered now by Aham Devasmi Jivasmi. They are removed by Aham Brahmasmi thoughts. So this thought is removed by these thoughts. Then thought free experience remains. That is in Atma Bodha we have seen Jalam Katakarenuvat example is given in the water which is full of marsh and all, or that's जो भी कहते हैं moss वगैरह, then that filmy layer is added to that. Kataka is called as Katakarenu. That takes, because it's heavy, goes into the water. While going, it takes all the dirt also with it below. What remains is pure water. So too, when the medicine is taken, it removes all the whatever the antibodies which are there in the body. They are removed and medicine also goes away. Otherwise, वो ज़्यादा poison होता है body के लिए. Then the health remains. In the same way, whenever we are in Upasana, after doing so, one glance and say, the Lord whose Upasana I have done is there in these mobile temples, each one. Make a habit of it. Later on, meditation becomes easy, in which transcending Rupanama becomes effortless. Once the Rupanama are transcended, thoughts are transcended. Because thoughts and Rupanama go together. When the thoughts are transcended, there is no Maya. What remains is pure self. Pure self, because of Maya, as thoughts, expresses as the forms and names called as world. Into that we are bound. We have studied exhaustively in our Mandukya Upanishad. Nowadays, our Telugu people are studying in a Drugdrishya Vivekam. Sarvabhuteshu Atmani cha Sarva Atma Avastitaha. I am established as Atma of everyone, in you as well as in everybody. Sarvabhuteshu Vyavastitaha, Atmani Vyavastitaha, Sarva Atma Rupena Vyavastitaha. In everyone I am there, in you also are there I am as the self. And what is the self? You have to inquire. You have to ask questions. Says that because of which the thing is there, without which the thing is not there. That is called the Atma of that thing. And that is what is that without which the thing cannot be there is Satvastu only, Chidvastu only. Therefore, Sat Chit is the inevitably the Atma of everything. And the Sat Chit are not two, it is one only. That is how, from this point, after doing Upasana in this way, that the same Lord everywhere, we become qualified for this next stage of inquiry, which is a little heavy while doing. But once that heavy duty meditation is done, and we enter into that next circle of meditative poise, of seeing that which is beyond Rupanama, as Sakshi Chaitanya, as that Atma which cannot be objectified as an Atma, then the life would totally take a different turn. Everything is seen as self thereafter. You can never have any kama krodha, any of the samsara. हो ही नहीं सकता उधर. Like you are fighting so much in the dream with somebody. When you wake up, हो ही नहीं सकता that you can fight. So too, you are loving somebody in the dream. उठ गए तो आओ क्या प्यार करोगे, कर ही नहीं सकते तुम. वो सपना था, ये तो जागृत. So to all this sapna, you are jagrat to the real self. So slowly here, the upasana is lifted to dhyana with this one sentence. Sarva bhuteshu atmani, sarva atma avastitaha. So here what Bhagavan said is an explanation. Ki, for his statement, you do with Shraddha, but don't worry about who is doing on what murti. For you, whatever you like, you do on that, but with Shraddha. And why anybody can do on any murti? Because all murtiyon ke piche only one Paramatma. Rather, not only behind Rama and Krishna, but in every upasak ke andar Atma ke roop mein, even in you also, who is there is same. Ultimately. And who is that same? What is that same? Is a theme of Upanishads. It's not the theme of the Upasanas or Purana Itihas. Purana talk about another God in contrast with us, other God who is in contrast with us as a having more powers, etc., under whose guidance, protection, blessings we are all alive. और रोजगारी चल रहा है. इस तरह सारे उपासना के होते हैं. Only Vedanta teaches us about the oneness of the truth beyond everything. Okay. Now, beautiful shlokas, these 6, 7 are coming. Now, first of all, let us conclude this portion, this with this 49th mantra, in which Falashruti is said. Then the next 6 mantras become two more topics. 4 mantras, one topic, last two, one more. We'll try to do all of that as much as possible today only. Evam, in this way, Kriya Yoga Pathaihi, Puman, Vaidika Tantrikaihi, Archan, Ubhayataha, Siddhim, Mattaha, Vindati, Avipsitam. देखा एवं क्रिया योग पथ so kriya yogam samachakshva, that is what is the thing started why when Uddhavji started asking, no, so evam kriya yoga pataihi, in this way through this kriya yoga patah, which are the vaidika tantrikaihi, those the vaidika and uparanika ways of upasanas, archana, when you do the archana upasana to me, then ubhayatah siddhim mattah vindate avipsita. So both the siddhis you get from me, which are your own avipsa, your desire. Ubhayatah siddhim means the three sets you can talk. One set of ubhaya siddhi is what? You are happy while living in this world. Then later on you will be given place in better worlds. So much upasanas we are doing. If that is your avipsa. Second set of two is what? With which the topic started. Mokshanam from karma bandha and nishreyasa prapti. Third set of ubhayata is what? Here jivan mukti, hereafter videha mukti. If that is your avipsa, then you should not ask for anything else. So generally the meaning taken is what? Here and hereafter you will be happy with all your material gains and comforts, then you become qualified for that forever truth also. Ubhayatah siddhim vindati avipsitam. Whatever the siddhis, avipsa is there in you, the desire, both of them come to you. The iha para, here and hereafter. Here in this life, hereafter in the next life. Forever is the absolute truth. It's called iha means here. Para means hereafter. Amush, then Atyantika means forever. Forever wala result. Bhagavan says, if you do the upasanas, definitely you will get it. So, what to do, how to do, what sankalpa to do, Bhagavan ne sab keh diya. Now it is in our hands. The ball is in our court now. How do we manage? How do we gather our timings? How do we get our resources? Now work on that. Slowly, there's no way other than giving up the laziness, and there's no way other than equipping ourselves in this direction. That minimum thing of self inspiration and motivation to come out of the laziness and start walking on the path greater, that minimum things if we don't do, then फिर हम मनुष्य होने का कोई फायदा ही नहीं है. Is it not? That is the biggest hurdle. मेरा कुछ भी हो जाए मैं काम नहीं करूँगा वाला लेजीनेस से, कुछ भी हो जाए मैं जरूर काम करके तरक्की पाऊंगा, उस स्थिति में हमको आना पड़ता है. May we all become that personality of seeking the highest with all the due efforts put which are required for that. May we not leave any stone unturned. And whoever are the lazy people never have a goal, never pursued anything, and spoke only a pseudo philosophy, never ever be in the company of that rascals, stupid fellows, whoever they are. On the other hand, those people who are again and again having higher and higher goals, putting their all great efforts to achieve, read their stories, be in the company of them, be in their thoughts. Then we also slowly in our heart get that bija of मुझे भी काम करके तरक्की पाना है. That bija only slowly when it becomes a plant tree, then it gives the fruit of working hard, getting result. And these two contrast pictures 1,000 times we shared earlier different classes में कि in this world we have not seen anyone getting anything without doing anything, just like in this world you have not seen anybody doing something did not get the result. ऐसा कोई बंदा नहीं है जिसने बिना कुछ किए कुछ पाया हो या कुछ करके कुछ नहीं पाया हो. इज इट नॉट? फिर आफ्टर दीज टू एक्सट्रीम्स आर टोल्ड, इन बिटवीन फिर जिसने जितना किया उसने उतना पाया. जो किया उसका फल बिना मिले तो रहेगा नहीं, जो किए कुछ भी नहीं है तो किसी कुछ मिला नहीं. Like in this life, without doing lot of money somebody have because of the parental ancestral properties. Don't imagine that उसको ऐसा ही मिला पॉकेट में, ऐसा नहीं होता. He has done lot of thing in the earlier lives, but somehow he is not listening or nobody is telling him. So he thinks that every life money will come freely like that. No. Like I did last life, this life I got. If I work now, then only I will get next life. See the small little examples, I mean children's examples of, let us take of Dhruva, Prahlada, Nachiketa. बच्चे लोग ही हैं, बट बिना मेहनत मिला क्या उनको? ध्रुव जी तपस्या, how those 6 months he did it. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya in that jungle, facing all the odds. खाना पीना सब छोड़ दिया बच्चे ने, हवा लेना भी छोड़ दिया. Then such a vigorous tapasya, 6 months was enough. Lord came. लाइक सिम में लगाओ तो कम धीरे धीरे टाइम लगेगा, मैक्सिमम में लगाओ फास्ट, लाइक इन द होटल्स. क्विकली ऑर्डर आता है, क्विकली इनको डिस्पोज करना है, पिक मैक्सिमम द फायर एंड ऐसा डोसा बनाते हैं, सब्जी बनाते हैं, तड़का लगा कर. घर में इतना जल्दी करो तो जल जाएगा धीरे. सो हम ध्रुवा साधना वाज लाइक दैट, बट मेहनत किया. नचिकेता ऑल द वे वेंट टू यमराज, sacrificed everything, heard patiently, did his own contemplation, मेहनत किया. प्रहलाद जी always in the devotion, consistently maintained. His mehnat was not allowing anything to overpower his devotion to God. वो भी मेहनत होता है. Like we're all good people, but one place we lose, that somebody comes and overpowers us, then we just lose our goodness. इन केस ऑफ प्रहलादा, इस फादर चंडामार्का, लाख कोशिश किया उन्होंने उनके मन से विष्णु भक्ति को निकालने के लिए. उन्होंने उसको जाने नहीं दिया. दैट वाज हिज मेहनत. सो द मेहनत ऑफ अर्जुन, एनी मिलियन एग्जाम्पल्स यू टेक, हु इज द वन विदाउट वर्किंग गॉट द रिजल्ट? कोई नहीं. सो ऐसे लोगों का याद करते करते हमें भी अंदर से स्ट्रॉन्ग कन्विक्शन होना, I must reach the higher goal, I must put effort for that. And what is the higher goal? The karma bandha mokshanam nishnayasya prakti. What is the effort to be done? Vaidika tantrika paddhati, upasana to God. Every day, keep doing. Once we do this sufficient time and go to some worlds and enjoy and all, then the self-inspiration grows that if I can do all that, I can even do the Brahmajnana Anveshanam also. Then we are taken into that zone of pure, immaculate Tattva Chintanam. That will be our 28th chapter, Paratattva Nirupana Prasangam. With that, the teachings of Krishna to Uddhava, or then Uddhava goes to Badrikashram, Sri Krishna Bhagavan leaves his body and goes. This is how the topics next a couple of weeks we will have till the Bhagavatam is over. In this 4 more chapter, 20, 20, 30, 31, then the 13 chapters in the next skandha. Okay, now here what he says, evam, in this way, kriya yoga pataihi, the marg of kriya yoga, puman, the purushartha karne ka samarthya wala manusya. What are the kriya yoga margas? Vaidika tantrikaihi, the Vedic and Tantric Paddhati, Archan. When he does the Archana to me, Ubayataha Siddhim, he will get both the Siddhis Mattaha from me. Vindati, he will obtain them, Abhipsitam, whatever he desiring. His desires of this world and either hereafter also, he will get given by me when he does my Upasana in these two ways of Vedic and Tantrika, which is called a Kriya Yoga, which you asked. So in this Kriya Yoga, there is practical activity. With, whether it is in Tantrika Paddhati of organizing the Puja Mandiram, organizing the item, understanding the sequence of Vasana steps, then following all of them. Even the Vedic mantra, the Vedic Yajna, Vedic Upasana, Kriya Yoga, they are also organizing Yajna Kundam, keeping the fire lit properly, blazing properly, then doing all the mantrocharanas, offering all oblations. It all is Kriya. You have to do. And at the end of both of them, then puja archa, then nritya, gita, vadya, all of that is a part of that kriya yoga to add more and more beauty to him. What we have to catch is the Lord is watching all this. Lord is seeing all this. Lord is receiving all this. Lord is appreciating all this. The Lord is ready to bless us with whatever we have the sankalpa. And to prove this only, all the Purana stories are there. We have to get inspired from them, and we should become an example for others by ourselves achieving so. क्या होता है ना आजकल इतना द मैकेनिकल वर्ल्ड वर्ल्ड ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी वर्ल्ड ऑफ साइंस so much overpowers our heart that these spiritual things which are sheerly based on the faith appear to be meaningless, impossible. Whereas every science has in its roots the Shraddha and faith only as the basis which we discuss so many times. Every time you put on the switch to get the light on, it is faith only. ना नहीं तो क्या शॉर्ट सर्किट हो गया तो बारिश में पानी आकर पूरा प्लग तक बिजली आ गया, आप उंगली लगाओ तो जल जाओगे। ऐसा कोई कहा मानो, आप लगाओगे क्या उंगली? नहीं लगाओगे तो बिजली जलेगी क्या? You are doing it faith. Remember, everything, every moment we do only with faith. Then the experience comes. So overpowered by the scientific all these things, from our dimag को ये चला जाता है in Kali Yuga mainly that these are the upasana paddhatis, bhajana paddhati, kirtana paddhati, namasmarana paddhati by which the infinite Lord is propitiated. By His blessing, the aihika dukkhas go away, sukha come, amushmika dukkha go away, sukha come, paramarthik ajnana goes away, atmanubhuti comes. This somehow going away. You and I, at least for our hearts, we have to become very clear. Now, no more we are like others working out much other than our duties. For anything we need, we do worship to God and see because we have studied it. When we work in the world outside, we get the result that anyway everybody is experimenting. We also experiment it. Karte bhi raho. But let us strengthen in us in these teachings where Bhagavan says, in this way, when you do Kriya Yoga, Ubhayata Siddhim Vindate Mataha, you will get both the results. He said, na, हम इसको भी हम साबित करें. बाहरी व्यवहार से बाहरी विजय को पाने का 730 crores of people are experimenting. But how many are experimenting through Upasana to be blessed by the Lord? Very few. Let us be few of them. And at a higher level, as we discussed so many times, if we touch the topic, it becomes repeated also, it becomes elaborate also. Therefore, I don't touch it so much, but this much we say. For you and me, actually, as a Sanatana Dharmi, anything we want, for us, medium is God only. And we invoke God's grace through Upasana. कुछ हम नहीं करते हैं, मिनिमम करते हैं. Minimum, like sowing the seeds, that much we do. But getting good crop and all, भगवान की कृपा. कटौते हम करेंगे, फिर good cost and sales, everything, His कृपा. Sanatana Dharma matlab, everything is given to us by Paramatma. So anything we want, we ask Him. That is why every day is a upasana to us. Is there any day in 365 days which is not upasana for us? There's no day. हर दिन कुछ ना कुछ त्योहार है, किसी न किसी भगवान का नाम. So through their case, we have more faith in Parama. How He does it is, why should I be bothered? He will take care of it. And in the giving of God, the beauty is what? Not only gives, He gives the best. Not only He gives us vairagya. Not only He gives vairagya, He gives us the mumukshata. भाई मेरे से मांग कर छोटे छोटे चीज क्या ले रहे हो, परमानेंट वाला ले लो. What is permanent? The self. है ना? In the Upasana Paramatma, along with getting what we want from Him, we also get Vairagya and Mokshata. In the working in the world, trying to get what we want, sometimes fulfillment comes, then it leads to greed. When it doesn't happen, we become frustrated. Then we shift into other thing only. Thus, we become more and more extroverted only in this worldly pure pursuit. ग्रीड बढ़ता रहेगा मिला तो, नहीं तो गुस्सा आएगा, फिर जिसको मिला उसके प्रति भी गुस्सा आएगा. वर्ल्डलीनेस. Interesting. In spirituality, there is no competition. Is it not? In the world business, like market shop, में आपका दुकान मेरा दुकान, it's always heavy competition. Sometimes your sales are good, sometimes mine are good, and we are inimical to each other. All. But in the Upasana, you pray to your Rama, I pray to my Krishna. My Rama and Krishna's Kripa. My business is flourishing, yours is flourishing. There is no competition or fighting in that. Again, don't fight between lords. That मेरा कृष्ण है तुम्हारा राम है कृष्ण राम से बड़ा है राम कृष्ण से बड़ा है. That nonsense again we should not have. So finally, is this thought entering into us in our own language? What is that? By doing this Kriya Yoga, in which two types of Upasana Paddhatis are there, we are going to be blessed by the Lord with the result of this world and hereafter. Are we convinced about it? Hmm? Mhm. Are we convinced about it? Then when do we start? Should we start or not? Is it not? देखो बहुत आसान से आसान काम भी नहीं शुरू करो तो होता कुछ नहीं. एंड बहुत मुश्किल से मुश्किल काम भी शुरू करो तो होते लगता. देयर इज अ स्मॉल लिटिल टिप्स वी कैन लर्न to come out of the laziness of mind and body with the intellectual understanding and inspiration and put them into the work, mind body senses, then you can see. तो करेंगे हम थोड़ा सा शुरू कर. एंड नेवर एवर इट इज गारंटेड दैट एवरीथिंग विल बी स्मूथ. पहले से हम बता रहे शुरू करते जाओ. लाइक to get the job itself is difficult. To sustain in the job is difficult. How many are suspended from the job because of not complying with the rules or all? After sustaining with the so much of effort to get promotions, increments, और भी difficult है. मैं बैठूंगा कुछ नहीं करूंगा सब मिलना चाहिए नहीं होता हो. The one who understood this and transcended his mind, senses, body's laziness, made body, mind, senses work under the inspiration of the buddhi which says, ज़्यादा काम करो ज़्यादा फायदा होगा. He will देखते देखते ही from a sales representative within 8, 9, 10 years of time, he becomes entire manager of the entire state in any of those departments or fields. और दूसरा बंदा वही धक्का मुक्का खा रहा है. इसने नौकरी से निकाल दी उसने निकाल दी फिर ये 4-5 के पाँव पकड़ रहा है नौकरी दिला दो दिला दो. As I gave this example regarding the professional youngsters, equal is with you and me as spiritual seeker. How many gurus we go to, how many temples we go to, how many books we study. भीख मांगते रहोगे क्या? Don't you start? Question is that. If you don't start, you will never go ahead to grow. If you start, nobody can stop. Start. कुछ भी तैयारी सीखो स्टार्ट करो तो ही गाड़ी आगे बढ़ेगा. So kriya yoga marga of Vaidika tantra let us do. The Vaidika at least once in a month we can do, but tantrika tantra yukta upasana or kriya yoga of archa murtika upasana karna we can start doing every day at least minimum 25-30 minutes. That's minimum because to arrange the things, to sit there, do abhisheka, wipe, put chandan, kumkum, naivedya, namaskar, one stotra, उतना तो लग ही जाओ. और एक सवाल बुरा लगता है आपको मैं पूछूं तो, बट मानो मत बुरा, आप तो हमारे दोस्त ही हो, कि भगवान के लिए आधा घंटा नहीं देने का उतना बिजी हम किस में हैं थोड़ा देख लेना. वाई वी आर सो बिजी दैट नॉट एबल टू गिव हाफ एन आवर 40 minutes to भगवान. Even if you are busy in anything, that is not so important than Bhagavan. Because Bhagavan says, मेरे उपासना कर तो सब मिल जाएगा. It's only we are lazy. To be more practical, to be more honest, the bitter truth, we are lazy, we are sleepy, we are gluttonous, we are sensuous, we are the enjoyment mongers. हमको खाना है पीना है सोना है टीवी देखना है हमको ना घूमने जाना है लोगों ने बातें करनी गप्पे मारनी है. We are a third rate human being. Naturally, we are not qualified. These negative खचरा जब तक रखते हो अंदर तब तक 20,500 gurus and gods also put together cannot inspire us. Everybody will come and say the same thing. They won't change. What we have to do is change in ourselves. हाँ, सब लोग इसी में फँसे रहते हैं, टाइम नहीं है, वो पेशेंस नहीं है, होता नहीं है, कर नहीं सकता हूँ। दैट डिसीज़ ऑफ द माइंड ऑफ एक्सक्यूज़ेस एंड लेज़ीनेस, बाप रे बाप! बाप रे! वर्स्ट ऑफ द एनिमीज़। आई तो प्रे भगवान किसी भी एक्सक्यूज़ से, सत्संग से मुझे बाहर दूर नहीं जाना। लेट देयर बी नो एक्सक्यूज़ वर्दी इनफ टू कैंसल क्लासेस। मर भी जाएँ, क्लास करते मरे। Else, if we compromise in our this main goal, everything gets compromised. With all these many classes studied also, the truth is not so much remembered. The desire for meditation is not so strong. The inner and outer sadhana to purify is not that much happening. अब ये भी छोड़ दिया तो with there no difference between us and others or us and our earlier life. अब being worldly to in minutes in 2 दिन में worldly हो जाएंगे. Is it not? I can become no. I come to all your houses and with your help go to your own members and clubs and friends, relatives. I can do all type of gappa with you. Can talk more sweetly than anyone, more lovingly than anyone, with all the general knowledge, with all the humor and jokes. Everything I can do. I can be the best entertainer also. If some things are lacking in me, I can learn them. It's not a Brahma Vidya. आई कैन लर्न, लैंग्वेज सीख सकता हूँ, ह्यूमर सीख सकता हूँ, इंटेलेक्शन सीखूंगा, फिर सबके पास आऊँगा, फिर खूब हम करेंगे, साथ में कोई बिजनेस भी करेंगे, पैसे भी कमाएंगे, ऐश भी करेंगे. व्हाट इज नॉट दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर ह्यूमन बीइंग. बट द क्वेश्चन इज इट वर्दी गोइंग बैक ओनली टू द रट्स. Therefore, I pray to God, Bhagavan, protect me from myself. Nothing should be excuse, justification, laziness. Like in the flood of samsara, when we are carried away, we got a strong anchor. That anchor for you and me, particularly regularly coming people, that anchor support is called our regular classes. And I'm warning you, those who left this anchor by their choice, they got flooded into the samsara. They are enjoying 100 times more than you, but of worldliness. You are suffering 100 times more than, but it is a sadhana. Just call the people who are irregular to our classes. So busy with their family, children, enjoying, going all over the world, घूम रहे, फिर रहे, मौजा कर रहे, मस्ती कर रहे, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं, spirituality नहीं कर रहे. I'm telling you guarantee, not only my example, everyone's example. From these classes, only thing for which you can give up these classes is go into a jungle and ashram, sit in deep meditation. If the deep meditation is not done after leaving these classes, that means we are only going lower and lower, falling only. It's not I am cursing. This is how the world will pull you. Then you are intelligent to justify. So this is my duty, is my responsibility. They gave me so much. I also must give them back. Therefore, I am with them and all that. And enough, I heard 4 or 5 years. And next life I do. भाई कुछ भी बोलो, तुम डिसाइड करके बोल रहे हो, डिस्कस नहीं कर रहे हो. You and I should never become trapped by it. Clear? Bhagavan says, yeah, upasana. Are we convinced about it in our last 18 days? About the glory of this Kriya Yoga Marga? When are we starting? And nobody will start for us. We only have to start. So tomorrow Raksha Bandhan, Shuru Karo Subha, keep a target of 1 year. Without break, I'll do my half an hour upasana. 1 month it will take for you to get adjusted to the routine. Once you get adjusted to the routine, where your attention is more and more on the physical aspects, from the next month onwards, you can increase your bhakti, your shraddha, your attentiveness, your prayerful mood. Within a year's time, you can see Bhagwan in front of you. हमें उस मूड में पहुंचने का टाइम लगता है, भगवान को आने में टाइम नहीं लगता. Because the Bhagavatam has to be studied. Upanishads have studied in the deep mood of respect and reverence and faith. Then only you feel. If you read it like a novel, if you see it like a movie, if you listen is like a पड़ोसी का story ना, फिर उसका कोई असर नहीं होता. है ना, जैसे हम गुरु के पास जाकर ऐसे बकवास करके बातें करते हैं, टाइम पास वाले. Guru also, okay, ठीक है, this fellow's level is only that one, he talks like that. Otherwise, with that Guru, you have to only ask Tattva Jnanam and meditation, and ask him how to come out of Maya. Guru can, but we don't ask him. Guru Maharaj, ठीक है आप तबीयत ठीक है आप कब मर रहे हो या क्या? Only this we ask. So too listening to Bhagavata, but with very superficial mind, extroverted mind. This is where we are, which is not sin or wrong, but it can be improved upon. What is the feeling? My Lord Krishna, out of his compassion to me, toward the end of his avatar, through Uddhava and this Bhagavad Purana, has given himself to me as my strongest support. He gave how I can worship him. He gave such an assurance that he'll bless me with here, hereafter, and forever. That feeling as deeply as possible it comes. Deeply from the heart. Such banda abhi rukega nahi और किसी में. He'll say, Chat, I don't want, my Lord is calling me. That is called the call of conch. भगवान का शंखरावम है ना. भगवान के बंसी को सुनकर उनके पास जाओ या शंकर ध्वनि सुनकर उनके पास जाओ, गीता को सुनकर उनके पास जाओ, उनका मुक्ति स्कंद सुनकर, कुछ भी ना उनके आवाज को सुनकर जाना है. Like in that Vrindavana. And he plays the flute. I know all the more aayega, gaay bachre aayenge, all the birds, everybody flock around him. How beautiful. Some nonsensical people, they may have not gone, Kamsa Adi, they only try to kill him only. वो तो होते हमेशा. But are we pulled toward this Bhagavata? How deeply? Are we pulled to the theme of upasanas of Mahat Brahma as told in Taittiriya Upanishad? We have to assess. That Utavalapan in us, that we are listening, but how to get maximum benefit out of it. That thing when it starts, we really help ourselves. Maja aayega wala baat. So it is not a simple sloka should be chanted like this. Evam kriya yoga patai pumanu vaidika tantrikai archan uvayatah siddhim mattah vindati abhipsitam. Not like that. It's very deeply. Evam. In this way, oh my dear disciple Uddhava, Kriya Yoga Patha I gave you, in which Vedic and Tantric I taught you, Archan. If you really do regularly, Mattaha from me, Ubhayata Sindhim Vindati Abhipsitam, तुमको इधर का उधर का दोनों फल पक्का मिलेगा. मैं तो भगवान से ही पूछ रहा हूँ, सारे ऋषि मुनि गुरुओं से, कि जो जीवन को उद्धार करने वाले अति मुख्य घटनाएं, चाहे किसी के मुख से कोई शब्द मिले या कोई अनुभव मिले, कोई गुरु का उपदेश हो, कोई सेंटेंस हम पढ़े, हे भगवान जिससे मुझे मुक्ति मिलेगा उस विषय को मैं नेग्लेक्ट ना करूं. प्लीज लेट मी वैल्यू. How many gurus came in my life and tried to guide me? I have neglected all of them. How many times their kindness, compassion, advice came to me? Many times unasked, sometimes asked, but I have neglected all that. How many times you gave me the health and freedom to do sadhana, but how much I neglected. जिंदगी भर मैं तुमको नेग्लेक्ट कर ही जा रहा हूँ, टेकली कर ही जा रहा हूँ, नजरअंदाज. This negligence. If that one thing goes away, and what the million opportunities Bhagwan is giving, 2% भी उसका यूज करो ना, कल्याण हो जाता है. Just like how much water rain comes out of that rain water proper harvesting, 10% also if you save for the entire 8 months, there is no problem of water. Is it not? Out of so much food Bhagavan is giving through grains and vegetable, if we have the art of properly saving them, distributed, can there be any poverty or any lack of food for any being in the world? इतना खाना भगवान भूमाता दे ही जा रही है, इतना पानी वरुण भगवान दे ही जा रहे हैं, कभी भी उसका नहीं है, हमको आता नहीं आर्ट हाउ टू यूज इट. And also how many people are there around us to help us, to love us, but we don't have the art of knack of getting benefit from them. Only one reason is negligence. In the same way, how much we are neglecting every moment and disappointing and humiliating the God and Guru like anything. Is it not? Like your child failed 3 times, 4 times. How much disappointing it is to you. पहले ऐसा होता था, आजकल कोई पास फेल नहीं है, ग्रेडेशन होता है, ए ग्रेड, बी ग्रेड, सी ग्रेड, अदरवाइज डी ग्रेड. यू डिग्रेड इन योर लाइफ. इन आवर टाइम्स जो मार्क्स 4-5 भी कम आए तो फेल, 3 मार्क तक ग्रेस मार्क देते. इट्स नॉट दैट वे कि 3 मेरे को मिला, 32 ग्रेस दे लो. 32 हैव टू गेन, 3 ग्रेस 35 पे एक सब्जेक्ट है तो पास करते थे. नहीं हुआ. आई नो पीपल 13, 14, 15 times went on failing. You know that last year that fellow 32 times he wrote 10th class. He failed all. 33rd time he passed. Not because he did well in exam, but because of corona, सबको पास कर दिए. Sorry. So what we are talking about is the inspiration, the non-negligence in us. Take up. I'm talking about the opportunities. Like I gave the example of your child failing 3 times. How much disappointing it is. Everything you are gaining, but is neglecting. अब भगवान हर दिन हर पल हमको मौका दे ही जा रहे to turn towards him. Every sukha and dukkha is his call only. Sukha he gives, says that I gave you sukha, come to me, I'll give you more and more. Dukkha gives and says, you are away from me, therefore you are dukhi, come to me, I'll remove your dukkha. हम सुखी हैं तो भगवान से दूर फंस रहे, दुखी है तो भगवान को जा ही नहीं रहे. Like we are healthy, we enjoy watching TV, don't come to class. And when we are not healthy, obviously, tablet ले लिया, खूब खाया, then slept on the bed again. Should we not recognize these mistakes that are happening in our life? Who will do it for whom? Who is having that time patience to teach us? First of all, they should know it. If they know it, they themselves will improve first. देखो हमारे को उद्धार करने के कोई बंदे दुनिया में है ही नहीं, सब हमसे घटिया ही है. Except the gurus and rishis. They're more worldly than us, more less informed than us, more attached to the world than us. So don't expect anybody inspire you to make you spiritual. It is you and I only will have to look into, find the opportunities that are given, make best use of them. One of them is this. And the combination of these 3 chapters, 26, 28, in the 26th, through Puranam Upakhyana, the biggest problem of the world, attachment, Bhagavan made us cut asunder. Kapota, Kapoti chanting also we did. Same chapter, through the Mahima of Satsanga, he took us to Satsanga. In the 27th chapter, he gave us such a beautiful Kriya Yoga Patha by which Karma Bandha Mokshanam goes away, almost become prepared or qualified for Nishrayas. Now the coming 20th chapter will talk to us how the Nishrayas is gained through the Tattva Jnana. These 3, 26, 27, 28, हमारे जीवन के लिए सपोर्ट होना. Like that, every chapter of Bhagavata, Gita, they're all great, great opportunities given by the Lord for our evolution. We only going on neglecting. Okay, now these 2 portions still are there. I couldn't do it today. Please, I won't say sorry. लेकिन जो भगवान सिखाते हैं, जो उस दिन बोलने को कहते हैं, वही होता है. So still, the next 2 topics में, the first topic in this chapter 27 toward the end is about the necessity of constructing temples and managing. Second one, help the temple and brahmanas to continue this Vaidika, Tantrika, Bhagavad Aradhana, Upasana Paddhatis by supporting them. Don't trouble them by taking away the things belonging to them. In the first case of supporting, enormously, inexplicably, greatly you are blessed. Same way, if we trouble them, unimaginably we are punished also. That ruthlessness in Bhagavan, while saying what type of punishment comes to us when we take property of the temple as well as the Brahmana, is the only way by which we avoid those things. So too, the great grand inspiration we should gather when Bhagavan said, when you do the construction of temple and manage it, it is equivalent to hundreds and thousands of yagna yagas done. These are the very powerful shlokas, important in today's world as well myself is concerned. मैं तो इस बात को पढ़. And there are very many people who are already on that work of supporting the temples in one way or the other. They are all in the great line of being blessed by Paramatma. Let us also do that. Okay. In this way 10-12 जन्म में हर जन्म 20-30 साल शास्त्रों को सुनते सुनते समझते समझते फिर उस बाद में वो 35वें जन्म में with the maturity of what is learned in last 34 lives, let us live a magnanimous, matured, gambhira life of the outer contributor, the spiritual pursuer, as well as the deep meditator. Like Sri Gurudev, he is in the self. He is teaching self to all. He taught patriotism. He revived the cultural tradition. He gave all the Tattvajnana of Shastra. कैसा वैसा he should be our goal. Like that we should be, if not, not 10 lives. That will happen this way as you are doing relentlessly. Listen, think, understand, change lifestyle. Listen, think, understand, change lifestyle. हमको इसमें रहना है, इसमें रहना. And what is that which takes us away from this? As I said you, the justification, the misguidances, the projections of the mind, the demands of senses, the laziness of the body. इससे बच करें. और इन सबको कौन इन्फ्लुएंस करता है? और वासनास. कैसे वासनाओं से बचना? Only through understanding. How the understanding comes when you inquire. How do you inquire? When you have a data. Where to get the data? In the class. So get the data in the class, do the inquiry, get the understanding, then only bypass the vasanas. And vasana prompted all these excuses, etc., which take us away from the noble path. That's how we have to help ourselves. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Thank you all. Happy Raksha Bandhan. Some people doing today, some tomorrow. We have everyday Raksha Bandhan only. Now come back in 2 minutes for our Adhyatma Ramayana Shastra. Adhyanam.